All right, Fujikura Axiom iron shaft. Maybe the hottest shaft of the year. We're going to try it out today, see what I think, compare it to some other shafts that I really like, and then we'll end with a little closest to the pin. Let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So we are going to be trying out the new Fujikura Axiom iron shaft today. This shaft comes in 3 different weight classes. We're going to be working with the 105. It does also come in a 75 and a 125, but I think the 105 is probably going to be the shaft that fits the greatest number of golfers. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So we've got this 105 stiff flex Axiom shaft, that being the shaft that has all the same basic technology that you see in the Fujikura Ventus line that is all over the place. Go anywhere where anyone is playing golf at a high level and you're going to see that shaft. So similar technology being implemented and used in an iron shaft now. We're going to see what all the fuss is about and see how it compares to some of my personal favorite shafts in the same weight class. All right, so to compare this new Axiom shaft with today, we've got 2 other shafts that I am a big fan of. First one being Nippon Modus 3 105. Now, yes, this is a steel shaft, but it is the exact same weight, 105, as that Axiom shaft, so I feel like that's a pretty good comparison to use. The other shaft we're going to be using today is another one of my favorites, this time a Graphite, Aerotech Steel Fiber I-110. Now, this one's going to be just a fraction heavier. We're talking 5 grams, but again, still in the same basic weight class. It's a shaft that I really like. I think it's a really good, solid golf shaft. So I'll be interested to see what kind of numbers I get with that shaft versus this new Axiom shaft. We're going to hit 2 sets, 3 balls each time with each of these 3 different shafts. So a total of 6 shots. We'll see how I hit them today. I'm either going to scrub 1 or 2 from each of them and just take either the top 4 or the top 5 shots to get our averages with each of these different shafts. We're going to start off with, we're going to go steel first, Nippon 105. I'm using Mizuno 223 7-iron head today. That one was hit really nice. That one will probably be a little long. Let's see. Yeah, just a few yards, but I'll take that all day long right there. Well, that one was not so good. Definitely caught that one off the toe. Big hop. And it's going to be a little short, kind of roll up there. All right. Fujikura Axiom, again, exact same weight basically as what we just had with that Modus shaft. So shouldn't really be a big difference there. Ooh, that was hit hot. That was hit really hot. Sit down. Yeah. That one flew the green by a little bit. Not quite as good as the first one, but still pretty good. Yeah, still pretty good. Thus far, I like the feel of it. It definitely, I mean, it feels like a graphite shaft, but it feels very stable. That one was a little bit of a pull coming back. Well, I don't think you can argue with any of those 3 results. All right, next up. That was the Axiom. Now we're going to move into one of my favorite, if not my favorite current graphite shaft, steel fiber. Oh, that was a rocket again. It's a little bit pulled, but that was hit a mile right there, I think. No, that one was missed. Popped out of that one and definitely caught that one off the toe. So that was nice again. Yeah, I do really like this shaft always. All right, that was 3 each. go one more time, back to the Modus. Oh, I jinxed it. Get up. Yeah, a little bit short. All right, but that's okay. Still, 4 out of those 6 were hit really solid, so that's good enough. Next up, Axiom, second set. Oh yeah, and just as a side note, and again, this obviously has nothing to do with the testing we're doing here, but I do really like the look of this Axiom shaft with this black matte finish paint job. Very simple, very understated as far as the graphics go. When you set it in the logo down position, you just have this little Fujikura logo sort of in gray silver and these little hash marks here. But other than that, very simple, very clean. Definitely the kind of look that I like with an iron shaft. That was maybe a groove high, but still pretty darn good. Oh, I pulled it a little bit. It's going to be pretty decent still, I think, and long. Yeah, covered the green. Well, yeah, it was probably my worst miss of that set by far. Still should have, dang, it's still long. Still have 4 good ones to pick from there. All right, last up, back to the Aerotech for 3 more. Oh no, that was not good. Is it hard, just drifting a little bit. Well, pulled it a little bit. Stay on the green. All right, first off, let's talk about the dispersion. Now, as you can see from the chart here, actually, the Axiom shaft gave me the tightest dispersion of all 6 shots, or all 18 shots, 6 with each one. Again, not taking out any of the bad ones yet. So the Modus 105 and the steel fiber are actually very similar in my overall dispersion. The Axiom was definitely tighter. Now, look, I'm not going to tell you that this proves that this Axiom shaft is more accurate than those shafts. I mean, there's a lot of variation in my personal swing that's going to come into the equation, and if I do this exact same test again, the results may vary. But what I will say is, look, those 2 other shafts that I'm using, the Modus 105 and that steel fiber 110, are 2 of my personal favorites, and this new Axiom shaft is definitely keeping up with them easily. So you can take that for what it's worth. Okay, next up, let's just look at the numbers real quick as far as the ball data goes. Starting with the Modus 105, we had an average of 118 mile an hour ball speed launch at 19 degrees, 6,500 backspin, peak height at 34 yards, and a carry distance of 167. This is, again, pulling out the 2 worst ones that you can see there. Those are not factored into the average. The steel fiber, 120 mile per hour ball speed, 18.3 launch angle, 6,500 again backspin. Peak height, again, 34 yards, but a little bit longer carry average, 171. Finally, let's go ahead and look at the Axiom shaft. Again, we pulled out the 2 worst ones, and our average was, well, 119.8, which we basically can just call 120. So the same as the steel fiber. The launch angle, again, 18.4, so right there in that same window. 6,400 spin, so just a fraction lower spin, not enough to even really make any conclusions from. And again, peak height 34 yards, carry distance in this one 171 yards, just like the steel fiber. So really, if we just want to do a graphite versus graphite comparison, you can see that this steel fiber 110 and this Axiom 105 for me were almost identical in all the numbers, be it ball speed, spin, launch, distance. Pretty much everything was just about the same. The only real difference in this test was I hit a couple kind of heavy ones with the steel fiber, and really, I didn't really catch anything overly heavy or thin with this Axiom. Everything was pretty solid. So now if we just go back and look one more time and we put all the numbers back in, again, because if we take the two worst ones out of each, these two come out almost identical. If we leave everything in though, well, today at least, this Axiom definitely carried the day. Better ball speed, better distance, pretty much better dispersion also. So all in all, at least today, this Axiom seemed to do a little bit better for me. Now, all that said, I'm not going to leave it right there because I've got one more little test we're going to do before I finish this video, and that is we're going to have just a plain old single shot closest to the pin. All right, I've shown you all the numbers, but none of it really matters because it all comes down to the closest to the pin. This is where the pressure's on. I've got 168 yards here, essentially flat elevation. There's a bit of a false front in the screen, and there's also water all the way down the right-hand side, so it will require a good shot to get it close to this pin. I'm going to have one shot with each of these three shafts, and in order to keep this as unbiased as possible, I'm going to use a tee and do the flip tee method to figure out the batting order or the hitting order here. So here we go. All right, we've got steel fiber, Axiom, Modus 105. First on the tee, looks like it's going to be Modus 105. Second up, I'm not sure how to call that one. Let's do it again. Where'd that one go? Pointing that way. Looks like Axiom number 2, steel fiber number 3. All right, this is what it's all about. 3 shots, 1 shaft each. Modus 105 up first, 168 yards. Hit pretty well, I think. Maybe a little off the toe. Sit down. Stop. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Okay. Well, there's definitely a bit of a slope there. All right. Let's see what the Axiom can do. Oh no, it's going to be too far right. It's going to hit that slope again, I think. Get up. Oh no. Darn it. Well, right now the Modus is in the lead. Axiom just had a little too much curve on it. It all comes down to steel fiber. If I can hit a decent one here, I think the steel fiber can win it. I think I've got a pretty good landing area if I can just hit one solid. Sit down. Oh no, he was long that time. Oh no. Well, I don't know who won. All right, let's check out the tape measure and see who won. And it looks like the Modus 105 wins the day here. And well, quite honestly, it should have. That was by far the best shot. It actually ended up a lot worse than it should have because it was pretty tight before it rolled down that hill. I hit the steel fiber pretty darn well too, just pulled it a little and went too far, and then the Axiom just didn't hit it very solidly, kind of the first time today during the closest to the pin. But there you go, the shaft that debatably performed the worst for me during my initial testing performed the best here. So, well, that's pretty much my golf game. But I think the important thing to take away here is the Fujikura Axiom shaft, putting it up against two of my personal favorites, two of my, what I believe are the best, most consistent shafts in this weight class. It definitely held its own, definitely performed every bit as well as either of those two other shafts. So is this a quality shaft that I think definitely deserves a look if you're in the market for some new graphite shafts? Yeah, I would say so. Hey, if you've got more questions about this Axiom shaft or you're interested in getting a set of these Axiom shafts installed in your irons, you can reach out to me at the website below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you go down below, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all that stuff, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.